Now, former Diepsloot Community Policing Forum chairperson John Makola is being remembered at a memorial service today. He was shot dead while trying to foil a robbery. Tempers, meanwhile, continue to simmer over high crime levels in that area. Government has since responded to the community's grievances, saying a ministerial task team will be set up to address their concerns. But they want President Cyril Ramaphosa. Manqoba Mchunu is monitoring the story, and he joins us now live from Diepsloot. Manqoba, how's the memorial service going?
Well, Maseko, I can tell you that certainly plans are underway for the memorial service, which is expected to be held this afternoon. We just spoke to some of the leaders who had to rush to a meeting, and they are saying that the memorial is going to take place this afternoon. Of course, remembering one of the crime fighters here in this community, a man who dedicated his life to improving the lives and the safety of this particular area. This was a man that was shot while he was responding to a cry, a call for help, when one of the shop owners, the foreign shop owners, had called him to say that he thinks that his shop was being robbed, and he had then rushed to that incident to assist to foil that robbery when he was shot by those robbers at the time, and he managed to survive for almost a week, and he died subsequently just 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. And of course the community, saying that they're quite saddened by his death, because this was somebody that was really, out there, somebody who helped the community as far as crime is concerned, but not only crime, but just as a leader of this community. This was somebody who would help people even with, money when they were short or they needed food. So it was somebody that was very loved by the community, and we're expecting, of course, community members to pay tribute to him later today, but also to bemoan the situation here, the crime situation, the levels of crime in this community that have robbed them of this leader and somebody who was quite, in front or in the front line of this war against crime. Of course, you'll know, Maseko, that this comes at the back of community members again vowing to intensify their protest. This is after they received a response yesterday from the President's office, which had indicated that a team of ministers will be set up. It acknowledged that they'd come and they'd handed over the letter inviting the president to them to come. But they're saying that this particular letter or document is just an insult to them as a community, because they were promised that there will be time frames that will be given as far as when the ministers, the four ministers that they want to also be part of that delegation that will come to the area are going to come. These include the police minister, the justice minister, the home affairs minister, as well as the human settlements minister. And they were hoping that they will be given dates and perhaps an indication of when the president is likely then to come to this community. But from what they received, they're saying that they feel disrespected, and they're saying that they are going to continue with their protest, in fact pleading with government to give them a response. They've given them 24 hours to respond properly to their demand and the letter that they sent. Or if that does not happen, they're saying that as soon as Wednesday they will take it to the streets. But yesterday I spoke to some of the leaders just after that held that public meeting with the residents, just expressing how they felt about that response that they got from the president's office. This is what one of the leaders had to say, really pleading on the president to come to this area.
I just want to make a special appeal to the president. Please, President, 24 hours is a very long time. Please, as we met, the letter, it's only acknowledging. We left the meeting with a decision and a conclusion that the president and the minister in the presidency will give us the dates, the times, when this will happen and when this will be concluded. But the letter says nothing. And if this is democracy, then it leaves a lot to be desired. Because the poor of the poorest, these people here, they live in the shacks. Guns are blazing at night. No one is protecting them. And what if this is one of the president's children who got shot, what will happen? And you ask yourself, if it's one of the ministers, what will happen? If we are living in such, we are serving in such, and the government decide to expose people and leave them exposed like this. I don't want to utter the statements of Medim Pohani, but I'm saying to them, karma will catch with them. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
And Manqoba, my understanding is that there were 2 people who were killed in that area, and that's what fueled the protest this time. What about the other person? When is their memorial service or funeral? Have you spoken to their family as well?
Yes, Masiko. In fact, there were quite a number of people that had died following, of course, the handing over of the memorandum by community members, which took place about 3 weeks ago when they marched to the police station. And after that, the weekend, it was a Friday, I think, when they handed over that memorandum. And on Saturday, this is when this incident occurred, the CPF chair that was shot. But also, there were all other shootings that happened. We understand that subsequently, the other family has been able to lay their loved one to rest. The CPF chair, the former CPF chair, however, has not been laid to rest. We understand that there were some processes and investigations that had delayed this particular process, only the family getting the body this week. And this is why they've then opted to hold the memorial service this week, and they're going to be laying him to rest. But Maseko, just tells you of how serious the issues here in Diepsloot are. I mean, just this past weekend, after the protests that we've seen here in the area, again, 2 people were shot in robberies that occurred in this community. And this is the very thing that our residents are fighting over, the very reason why they went to the president's office. So you can understand the disappointment that they have received when they got that communication from the president's office saying that there is a team of ministers that's going to be set up, not really giving any timelines as to when this is going to happen. And people are saying that they feel like they're not being taken seriously. The fact that people are dying here in this community is not being taken seriously. And this is what they say has now given them no other option but to return to the street. And so they are giving the president's office 24 hours. And if that doesn't happen, they're saying that Masiko, they are going to go back to the streets. Of course, they're going to condemn, in the strongest sense, the high crime levels of this community, but also hoping for more lasting solutions as far as this issue is concerned.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu live for us there in Diepsloot with that update. Let's leave it there for now.